Good morning, welcome back. Here's some examples from your actual homework. Let's do two together, and then I'm going to give you a hint on another one. Okay, so this is multi-step conversions. Let's do 1, 7, and the hint, like the other day. Okay, I'll label it so I don't have to fast forward if you want. Multi-step conversions. Okay, 1, 7 in the hint. How many kiloliters in 592 gallons? Your start number is your number. Your end spot is the how many or how much. You're going to end in kiloliters. You're going to start with 592 gallons. Okay, this is labeled multi-step. You will have a collection of questions on this page that you can do in a single step. I'm just going to totally mess with you. I am not telling you how many steps. Ah, what a jerk. Okay. Okay. Set it up with 3. See if you can do it with whatever this is. We called this a single step. Sometimes I call these 3-step because there's 3 fraction lines. Set it up like this, and then just mess with it. Some of these are kind of like trial and error type things. So do what you know for sure first. So you know your start and your end. The next thing that you know for sure, you know that your starting unit is going to go at the bottom of the next fraction. We're going to get rid of it. And we know that your ending unit is going to be at the top of the last fraction. Now, the question you're going to ask yourself is, do I have... Okay, we're going to find the middle unit. And to do that, we want to know, we're measuring volume, and we want something between gallons and kiloliters. And your question is, can you think of a volume measurement? These are big volumes-ish. A kiloliter is 1,000 liters, so that's pretty big. A gallon, you know what a gallon is, that's pretty big. Is there any other volume measurement that's like in that size range? And here's another pro tip. If you've got a metric prefix, look at that base unit. That might be where you're going to go to. So here we've got kiloliters. This makes you think, what about liters? Could I plug liters in as my middle unit and see if that gets me where I'm going? Let's look at it. If we did gallons to liters, do we know how many gallons is in a liter? I sure hope that's on that page. Did I put that on that page? How many gallons in a liter? Yep, okay. We know how many gallons in a liter. And do we know how many liters in a kiloliter? Well, our metric prefixes were on our notes page from a little while ago. We do know how many liters in a kiloliter. Okay, so we looked at our metric thing. We lopped off our prefix and said, can we do this if we look at our base unit instead of our prefix accompanied unit? Okay, so that's how we found liters. We wanted a volume between gallons and kiloliters. We took off the prefix to test it out and see if liters would work. Liters works. Alright, so we know we want a sentence that says some number of gallons is some number of liters, and we want a sentence that says some number of liters is some number of kiloliters. And this one here is non-metric. So we're going to go across to our page and we find handily written for us that 1 gallon is this is a long number, 3.785 liters. from our, what do you call it, thing with the stuff, the computer page. And your notes page, you've got a kilo thing is 1,000 base unit things. So 1 kiloliter is 1,000 liters. I'm going to zoom in on this because that got blurry too. Numbers follow units. Our gallon here is on the bottom. 1 goes with the gallons. We'll follow that to the bottom. Liters is on top. Here's our liters in our sentence. We've got 3.785. 3.785 liters equals 1 gallon. So this is just 1. We just wrote an equality like that. Canceled out the gallons. Now we're going to go cancel out the liters because we're not done. We want kiloliters. So in this sentence here, we've got 1,000 liters equals 1 kiloliter. And the numbers just follow the units once we've got, this got a little hard to read. Here are our conversion factors. And we just plugged in those numbers that we found from the computer file and your notes into our equation. And this one looks a bit funky because you have some numbers on top and some numbers on the bottom, but the strategy you've been using the whole time will still work. You're going to take your calculator, you're going to say 592 is on top, 3.785 is on top, so multiply those together. These are all multiply. We get a big number, and we're going to divide that, oh, I should say it, 2.2407 times 10 to the third, so 2,240.72 is what you're getting on the top. And we'll divide that by everything on the bottom. On the bottom we have 1 times 1,000 is 1,000. So divide that by 1,000. And you get your number of 2.24. Your calculator gives you all these beautiful decimals. We look at our original thing. We start with 3 sig figs, 592, so we're going to end with 3 sig figs. Keep the biggest 3, round using the next one. That next one is 0, that rounds down. So we've got 2.24 kiloliters. I'm going to zoom out because I don't have my ending unit, and that ending unit is hugely important. Okay. Let's do, actually, I want to do, so this was a 3-step question. You could do this in more, I'm sure, but you don't have, I mean, like, you can do it in 3. I want to do a 4-step, because I know that some of these are 4 steps. I'm not going to give away all of the things. Pounds, grams, kilograms, inches, centimeters, meters, pounds. You might be getting some information that I'm saying. Oh, 5 is actually kind of gross. 5 might be the most gross on the whole page. Let's do it together. And then I'll give you a hint because that will help. Maybe. A 355 milliliter soda can is how many fluid ounces? There's a chance you have a 355 milliliter soda can on your very desk at this very moment, and you could check it that way. And there's probably somewhere out there a conversion directly from milliliters to fluid ounces. However, on this page of things, I don't give you that. Oh, I just did this without saying it. So this is your start thing, because that's your number. So put that in your start spot. How many or how much? We're going to solve that for fluid ounces. And if you're only working with what I gave you, which you're not obliged to contain yourself thusly, but we're in and doing it. I'm going to show you the whole thing. This is a terrible example because you're going to say, I could have done that faster. And you're probably right. Here's what you know. You're going to cancel out your starting unit, like so. You're going to end with your ending unit, like so. It's a fluid ounce. you could find that conversion on the internet. I'm going to take you through the big thing, mostly to show you how the units line up. So I'm going to take you to liters, because we know how to do that from your notes, and then to gallons, because that's what's in your computer file. And right, even though blah 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 blah, this is showing you that you can do it this multi-step way, and really it's the same thing. It's just extra steps. Oh my gosh, if there's anything high schoolers love, it's extra steps, right? Okay. Take yourself from milliliters to liters, take yourself from liters, and the point is that even when you need to do extra, I mean, at that point they won't be extra steps. At the point that you have to do 500 million steps just to get where you're going at all, you already know how to do it. You're not intimidated by the multi-step aspect of it because, as you see here, it just follows the same pattern. So your starting unit was milliliters, canceled those out. You wanted fluid ounces, we put those at the end. We checked our page, we know how to convert into liters, we know how to convert from liters to gallons, and we know how to convert from gallons to fluid ounces. And so for our final thing, check your notes. A milli thing is small. There's 1,000 milli things in one standard size thing. Liters to gallons, that's one that we're going to have to check the computer page. So 1 gallon is, oh, we just had that, oh, these are both volume measurements. Good. 3.785 liters is 1 gallon. I pulled that from the computer file. Don't memorize that. Just, it's not worth your time. We've got 1 fluid ounce is 0.0078 gallons. Okay. Let's get this all together now. Units follow units. There's your milliliter. Your number, your conversion factor number that goes with milliliters is 1,000. Your conversion factor number that goes with liters is 1. Liters happens to be on top. That's where the 1's going to go. Here you've got the number of liters on the bottom. The number that goes with liters there is 3.785 liters. The number that goes with gallons in your conversion factor is 1, so that's going to follow your unit gallons up there. And in your last step, your gallons, okay, has this bonkers decimals, 0.0078. So I pulled that from my conversion factor. That's got the unit of gallons. That's going to follow the unit gallons up here. And then fluid ounce. Got 1 fluid ounce on the top. Again, I did not mean to line this up in that way, but fine. Multiply all the stuff on the top. 355 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 is still 355. Multiply all the stuff on the bottom. 1 times 1,000 times 3.785 times 0.0078 is 29.523. And you're going to take the top number, 355, and divide it by that bottom number, and get a number that looks like this. 12 point, okay, and then the calculator says all this stuff. I'm going to keep 3 sig figs, 12, I'll just write it out, 12.024523, blah, 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 blah. We want 3 sig figs, keep the biggest 3 round using the next one. So for those of you with soda cans on your desk, and when we started this, 355 milliliters in my soda can, oh, that's 12 fluid ounces. Yeah. 12.0 fluid ounces, just about exactly 12 fluid ounces. Okay, so the purpose there was to show you that even when your conversions get long and complicated looking, they're not the actual process is nothing scary because you already did it, so you can just crush it, and that's a thing you can do. The hint, number 10, I hid. Actually, I didn't hide it. I might look at number 10, read number 10. I wrote a number that I sometimes don't write. I said how many, what did I say? How many seconds are in? How many seconds are in? What's another way I could have phrased that sentence? So I wrote how many seconds are in 1 hour. But like, if you're just talking, you would be more likely to say how many seconds are in an hour. So the hint here is that if it says something like how many seconds are in an hour, the hidden, missing, invisible number is 1. This can be like a huge thing. If I say how many hours are in a year or whatever, I'm not writing 1, but you know, this one says how many seconds are in I should have said an hour to make it like kind of how we normally say things. You're looking at 1 hour. That's the missing hidden number that sometimes I don't even write for you. And you're looking for how many or how much seconds are in an hour. These are all multi-step conversions, but think about a time unit that is in between seconds and hours. Okay, I'm not going to give you more hints on that one, but you're going to get it. Okay, see you soon.